Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game! I say welcome back, despite this being episode 1, because I have already played this game for y'all once before. I want to say maybe 6 years ago? Unfortunately, I kinda botched that playthrough in a way that I will explain in just a bit. For now, all you need to know is that I have since deleted the original playthrough, and I am now giving this game a much needed second chance in the spotlight. This is Raiders of Lekunder, the special edition. And by the way, I kinda like how this game has opened up so far, kinda like some sort of big production. At the same time, I kinda have to wonder, are you trying to parody how some movies like to say who made them twice? Because you'll have a movie from 20th Century Fox, and it'll open up with the golden logo and the spotlights and the da 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 da. And then the movie actually starts up and it says 20th Century Fox presents, and it's like, yeah, we know, we heard the fanfare. Anyway, let's get this started. On the border of the human kingdom of Valencia and the Dragonlands is the quiet village of Lekunder. Ruled by King Randolph, who was elected king by the people because his last name is King, Lekunder was home to 4 elemental crystals that protected Valencia from monsters. The Earth Crystal, the Water Crystal, the Fire Crystal, and let me guess, the Wind Crystal? And the Wind Crystal. How did I know? I mean, yeah, I played this game once before, but I'll be honest, I completely forgot that there were even crystals in this game. One day, some dragons laid siege to Lekunder. A mighty red dragon flew overhead as a green dragon, white dragon, orange dragon, and sinister black dragon walked the streets. They didn't do any damage, but they absconded with the 4 crystals and kidnapped Princess Elandra, King Randolph's daughter. As the dragons departed with their captive, the black dragon remained behind to deliver a ransom note to King Randolph. The note read, "Hand over your kingdom or the princess gets it. P.S. We mean business. P.S.S. Don't send someone on a rescue mission. That would be annoying. P.S.S. Don't send a valiant warrior on a quest into the Avala Mountains in search of the Staff of Dragon Slaying that is the source of our one weakness. That would be annoying too. P.S.S. Don't gather together a band of unlikely heroes and send them into the Ardis Marshes in search of the legendary Gauntlets of Might. It will do you no good." Well, that's a good reason not to. And so, the note continued with a long list of PSSs. King Randolph was still reading the note when Princess Krystana and her friends returned from a hunting trip and found out what had happened. Krystana, Princess of Lekunder, and Elandra's older sister, Glaisa, an elvish archer, Phibbs, a rugged dwarf, and Jareth, a crafty thief. Our story begins at King Randolph's house. Let's see. PSS, Don't send a diplomat to the land of Dunzar to ask for their help. They won't help you. I already checked. Well, that was considerate of you. It'll save me the trouble. The Black Dragon grins and says, I did plenty of research before launching this raid. Indeed, so it would seem. Tell me, Mr. Dragon. What's your name, by the way? The dragon replies, You may call me Thurlum. Ah, interesting name. Tell me, Thurlum, just how long is this ransom note of yours? Thurlum reaches forth it with a claw and tears a seal on the scroll in Randolph's hands. The scroll unfurls down to his feet and unrolls all the way across the room. That is a hilarious mental image. Egad! It'll take me days to read all of that. Well, that's good. It's going to take me days to get this playthrough done. If you must, says Thurlum with a wicked grin on his reptilian snout. Or you could hand over your kingdom now and have your daughter back by nightfall. No, you went to the trouble of writing your note. I should extend you the courtesy of reading it. The front door of Randolph's house opens. Krystana and her friends enter. Dad, what's going on? I heard that Elandra was kidnapped. Krystana! I'm glad you're back. Randolph turns to Thurlum. This is my other daughter, Krystana. She and her friends were away and missed all the excitement. Krystana, this is Thurlum, one of the dragons who just attacked our town. I'm afraid they took your sister and the elemental crystals. They're holding them hostage. Krystana turns on Thurlum. What have you done with my sister, you big meanie? She's quite safe, answers Thurlum with a sinister grin. For the moment, that is. What do you want, you fiend? It would appear that he wants the rulership of Lekunder. Humph. Looks like I'm going to have to kick some dragon tail. I want to make a song reference, but I can't remember how it goes. Oh, please, says Thurlum with an amused chuckle. The Dragonlands is a wild and untamed land, home to orcs and goblins, and all kinds of nastiness. A pretty princess like you won't get very far. We'll just see about that. For the record, 2 things. 1, this was created with RPG Maker 3 on the PlayStation 2. 2, this is how cutscenes are handled. And when it comes to dialogue boxes, you can have dialogue boxes point at the character speaking, which makes a kind of a voicey sound. Meanwhile, the dragon in the background is just a background picture, and thus the dialogue cannot point to him, which is why the dialogue is not pointing to him. Thanks for telling us where Elandra is, by the way. Smirk. Thurlum frowns and growls. Grins. Guys? Can we put a little thought into this? We're talking about orcs here. And goblins, and probably all kinds of nasty, evil monsters who can cause much pain and suffering. And fire-breathing dragons! Big, ferocious, mean, fire-breathing dragons who could probably tear us to shreds. Like him! He points to Thurlum. Thurlum flashes Fibs an evil grin along with a menacing growl. Eek! He hides behind Jareth. Jareth chuckles at Fibs' cowardice. Yeah, it sounds like fun. When do we get started, Chris? Right now. Well, be sure and tell me how everything turned out. I'll be waiting right here in town. No, you won't. I might need your help. I might need yours too, Glesa. I'm with you. Let's let's rescue Elandra and recover the crystals. This guy sighs in recognition. I need to make note of these characters' names. As soon as we get to a chance to open a menu, I'm gonna write down their names, because I'm bad at remembering names. Sighs in resignation. I just know I'm gonna regret agreeing to this. I'll probably get eaten by some wild beast or something. Dad, I'll be back with Elandra and the crystals. Krystana, I forbid you to go. I've already lost one daughter today. I don't want to lose you too. Don't worry about me, Dad. I can take care of myself. And Glesa, Fibs, and Jareth will back me up if we run into trouble. Krystana and her friends depart to begin their quest. Thurlum snorts with a dragon chuckle. That pitiful band won't get far. Krystana and her friends gather outside King Rindolph's house. We need to find out where the dragons are holding my sister, and we'll need to find that out from some local monsters in the Dragonlands. Let's ask around town. Maybe someone here has seen monsters nearby. Can I object one last time to this dangerous quest that will probably end in our doom? Sure. Great! I'm glad I'm not the only one who sees the light of reason. Let's go and get some lunch. You can object. Doesn't mean we're not going. Smirk. Oh. Frowns. Come on, Fibs. Let's find out where the monsters are. Oh, all right. But you guys have to protect me when they try to tear our limbs off. Yeah, that is going to be a battle strategy. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Select game. Game 1, normal. Game 2, easy. In Game 2, your characters are much stronger. So, the way this game works is you do not level up from battling, rather your characters level up after completing each quest. This was done so that battle balancing would be easier. And there's actually a surprising amount of RPG Maker 3 games that do this. Balancing must be really difficult in RPG Maker 3. But anyway, in essence, if we were to play on the normal difficulty, the monsters would be equal to our levels at all times. This would effectively make it so that every encounter is like a boss fight. Thankfully, this game doesn't have random encounters, but still, for me personally, that is a bit much for me. I prefer regular encounters to be relatively swift. And so I am going to be playing on the easy difficulty. And that was in fact what I intended to do the first time I played this as well. However, and here's where my big mistake was in my original playthrough, I completely failed to pay attention to which option was which, and chose the top option, assuming that the top option was the easiest difficulty. And this is when I was streaming my playthroughs, and I did not get around to editing my playthroughs until after I finished streaming them. So I did not realize that I chose the wrong option until I had already beaten the game. And BT dubs, I was right. The normal difficulty was too much for me. It was draining, and you could tell that I was drained. And it really brought down the playthrough. So, for this playthrough, I'm going to properly choose the easy difficulty, and hopefully have a much easier time with this game, and a much more enjoyable time. Anyway, let's go ahead and open the menu real quick, so that I can write down these characters' names. Alright, got all the information wrote down. Let's go ahead and start exploring. And let us start by heading back into Randolph's house. Please don't bug me, Krystana. I'm reading Thurlem's note. And Thurlem doesn't seem to be here at the moment. Well, King Randolph King is going to be spending a few days reading that ransom note. I guess Thurlem has decided that he can take the time to step out for some fresh air. Alright, where do I want to start? It's been quite a while since I played this game, like I said. Well, I guess, let's head in this direction. Oh, the tavern seems like a great place to start. You have information? Kim? Monsters near town? No, I haven't seen any. But that's a good thing, right? Probably. Can I talk to you from across the counter? Yes. Because you are a shop. I don't necessarily need a shop yet. I'm not really sure what I need to buy yet. I'll figure that out, later. I will say, visually, RPG Maker 3 might look like a PlayStation 2 game, but it's not a bad-looking PlayStation 2 game. I especially like how it looks when it becomes nighttime, though we got a bit of a wait before we get to that point. Rortham's house. Hi, Chris. I heard you're going to be exploring the Dragonlands. That region has a rich history. Yeah, it was known as Southern Valencia before the monsters came and overran the region. There was a mining town, a monastery, and dwarven mining operations there at one time. Yeah, if you happen to visit any of those areas and come across a valuable artifact or two, I'd be interested in purchasing them from you. Okay, optional thing. Let me make note of that. Cool. We'll keep our eyes open for treasures. Keep your eyes open for treasures. I'll buy them off you if you're interested. We will definitely be interested. From here, I can't remember if there's any reason to actually explore around town. I don't think there's going to be any treasure chests. However, I do remember this building here being important, but we have to go into it from the other side. Triska's house. Hi there, Krystana. Would you like to see the future? Only if it involves me kicking Dragon Tail. Yeah, the funny thing is, the first time I recorded this playthrough, I was still a raccoon dragon. And I did not really appreciate all the references to getting my tail kicked. Although, in hindsight, I was a raccoon dragon, and therefore I had a raccoon tail. And now I'm a pig. If anybody kicks my tail now, it'll just spring back. Triska peers into her crystal ball. You will be visiting a forest cave. For now, victory is within your grasp. Remember to use the elements to your advantage. Yeah, elements are going to be playing a big role in combat. I'll explain in more detail later, but for now, all you need to know is that each of our main characters is associated with a different element. Alright, how about the treasury? I was actually expecting a church. Luke. I was here when the dragons came. I couldn't do a thing to stop them. Please, do what you can to get back the elemental crystals. Oh! These are the pedestals that the elemental crystals are supposed to be placed on. By the way, it is worth mentioning that I am emulating this, which is going to explain why there might be the occasional hiccup, because, well, you know how emulation is. The upside to emulation is that I can play this game at a much higher resolution than the actual game. The actual game is not even 480p, it's actually 480i. So, here, using PCSX2, I can upscale the game, and it's definitely a nice improvement. I even get to turn off the blurriness. On a related note, this is my first playthrough that I am recording at 1080p. I've been recording at 720p, but I have been encouraged to try out 1080p, and, well, hopefully this looks good. I honestly cannot tell because I don't actually have a 1080p monitor. I only have a 900p monitor. Anyway, Elsie says, monsters near the town? No, I'm afraid I ain't seen any. Of course, I ain't been outside of town in a while. I don't really want to see any neither. They scared the bejabbers out of me. Is that building up there one I can go into? Oh, this is Krystana's house. Krystana has a dog. Hello, dog. Hold on a sec. That message was automatic. Wait, no, it wasn't automatic. Speaking of emulation, and I can't really blame the emulator on this because, well, it's not the emulator's fault. I'm using an Xbox 360 controller, and sometimes one of the buttons sticks. There we go. That is a character portrait. So the dog is named Hobbs. Bark, bark. Oink. Hey, Hobbs, you crazy dogger. You're a puppa, not a flipper. Yes, you are. Krystana pets Hobbs. Go and eat your dogger munch. For the record, I do not eat pig munch. Slop does not sound appealing. I'll record my quest progress in this journal. If we are ever unsure of what to do next, we can look here. Alright, very useful. I forgot this was here. Ask around town if anyone's seen monsters nearby. Hold on a sec, this looks like something we can actually get. Yep. Krystana opened the bag. There was 5 gold inside. There was also a cheese pizza and waffle fries inside. Okay then. Not the items that I expected. Let's check status info. Cheese pizza. A tasty cheese pizza. Cowabunga, dude! Waffle fries. A basket of tasty waffle cut fries. I like waffle fries enough. They're not my favorite, though. I prefer the crinkle cut variety. While we're here, small sword. A small, lightweight sword with a short blade. Favored by wimps? Well, we're going to need to replace that. And a robe. A robe with concealed panels of toughened leather strips. Worn by wimps everywhere. Yeah, we definitely need to get ourselves some better equipment at some point. I'll look over our other gear in a bit. For now, I want to locate the save point, because according to the clock, we have already reached the half-hour mark, so not a bad idea to call it quits for today. And then next time we'll go ahead and continue exploring town. Eventually we will make our way to the battle tutorial and we'll get ourselves a taste of combat. By the way, I am definitely glad to finally get around to playing this again. It's been a while since I played this, so I've definitely forgotten a few things. So it's going to be kind of fun getting a chance to re-experience this game's humor. Anyway, that is all for today. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Wink!